Get ready, because we just got some fresh scoop on our Lions. And this is the kind of stuff only the real insiders get right away. I'm talking about hot takes from behind the scenes, roster moves, and even rumors that could completely change the season. So, are the Lions really ready, or is there a bombshell waiting to drop? But before we dive into the news, let me hit you with something real quick. About 90% of the people who come here still haven't hit that subscribe button. Can you believe that? You know what that means? It means you're missing out on the raw, authentic Lions Nation analysis, the real talk, the kind of sideline chat you only get with a true fan. So don't mess up, click that button right now, and join the pride. Alright, this whole Zadarius Smith thing has been the talk of the town for a while now, and it's a big deal. Ever since he left, fans haven't stopped begging the front office to bring him back. And it's interesting because it's not just about missing him, it's that feeling that there's a serious piece missing next to Hutchinson. You know how it is, we see the defense playing strong, but we always have that nagging thought. Are we missing that one guy who can truly terrorize opposing quarterbacks? Yeah, and Smith has become that name that fans just can't stop talking about. Now, Dan Campbell went on the radio and was pretty blunt. We're good right now. So I gotta ask you, are we really? He talks about Davenport like he's the definitive solution, but the folks in the stands, especially in the groups I'm seeing, aren't really buying it. Davenport's injury history is a huge red flag. I remember 2 games last year where he looked like he was about to get going, and then bam, he was out again. It's tough to trust that. And Smith, man, Smith is different. The guy has already shown that he can come in, get his hands dirty, and make an immediate impact. His age, 32, sure, it's a factor, but tell me this. Isn't it better to have a grizzled veteran who already knows the ropes than to just rely on potential? Campbell said all the right things about Davenport, that he had a rigorous offseason, that he's taking care of his body, that he's versatile. But seriously, we've heard all that before, and every time we believed it, disappointment was right around the corner. To be honest with you, I'm not buying this confidence. Of course, the coach has to defend his guys and build them up, but we the fans don't forget what we've seen. And when I look at the defensive line today, I see good players, I see a well-structured tactical scheme, but I still feel like we're missing that one dude who commands respect just by his name. Hutchinson is that guy, but he needs a partner in crime, someone who can truly shake up the rival offensive line. And that's where the fear of missing out comes in, because if the front office doesn't do anything now, we might regret it later. Imagine getting to the playoffs and Hutchinson is double-teamed the whole game, with no one reliable on the other side. By then, it'll be too late to say, oh, we should have signed Smith. Comment below if you agree with me, or if you think Campbell is right to trust in Davenport. I want to hear the voice of the Lion Nation, because this is where we get to have that real talk, eye to eye, as true fans. And stay tuned, because the next piece of news is about Goff opening up his heart. You know that talk going around about the Lions losing their favorite status? Well, it reached Jared Goff's ears. And what he said surprised me. The guy was straight up saying he prefers it when people doubt us. He said he doesn't care about the outside narratives, that he doesn't follow the media roller coaster. And honestly, that mindset feels so Detroit, skeptical, hardworking, with a chip on its shoulder. Remember last year? We were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Everyone saying, the Lions are the team to beat. That's a point of pride, sure, but it also comes with a ton of weight. It was like every loss felt like a national tragedy. Now the tide has turned, especially after Micah Parsons ended up with the Packers. That's when the buzz started. Do the Lions still have what it takes to win the division again? Rival fans are laughing, analysts are already lowering expectations, but Goff seems to love that. He spoke in a way that was almost confusing, kind of like, are we good? Are we bad? I don't know, whatever. But behind that speech, I see a strategy. It's like he's taking the pressure off the team. Because let's be real, today, anything less than a Super Bowl feels like a failure. So when he says he'd rather be the underdog, he's sending a message to his teammates. Let's play loose with no pressure and shut up the critics. And you know what got me? It was how he valued the first game. He said a road division game is worth 2. Man, that's so true. Win on the road and you've already put your rival on the ropes. I felt a different kind of hunger in his voice, like this start is vital. And that gets us fired up. Imagine starting 1-0 against a tough opponent and putting the pressure on the others right away. For us, the true fans, hearing that gives us a mix of confidence and anxiety, because Goff is going into his 10th year. He's got experience, he knows the shortcuts. He's not a kid who's going to be rattled by the first game, but at the same time, we want to see that attitude turn into results, into wins on the field. I can't stand seeing good interviews followed by a mediocre game. You know, the talk and the action have to match. Now, I want to know what you think. Do you also like this idea of being underestimated, or do you think the team should just own up to being the favorites? Comment below because this back and forth is what makes Lions Nation unique. And stick around because the next piece of news is explosive. A top veteran on the market could land with the Lions and fix a serious gap in our defense. Now hold on to your seats because this is a hot topic. Justin Simmons, a respected veteran in the league, could be a Lion. Just saying his name gives me goosebumps because he's one of those safeties who commands respect. The guy has incredible football IQ, a leader's voice, and let's be honest, he'd be the perfect fit for our secondary, which has been lacking since some key players left and the coaching staff changed. I, for one, can't stop imagining him quarterbacking the back end, providing security for the corners, and mentoring the rookies. Look at the situation. Dan Campbell preaching intensity, Kelvin Shepard now leading the defense, Deshea Townsend handling the pass game. The team is reshaped. We lost continuity with the departures of Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, plus Ragnow's surprise retirement, which even shook up the locker room. That's a lot of change all at once. And then this chance appears to bring in a guy who has experience, a stellar resume, and is still hungry for a title. It's one of those opportunities that seems tailor-made. According to SpotRack, Simmons' market value is hovering around $7.5 million guaranteed per year. That's not pocket change, obviously. But when we think about the immediate return, the impact he could bring, it makes total sense. Money can't be an excuse when the goal is to hold our defense against the best offenses in the league. And between us, if you're going to invest, do it in someone who delivers from the very first snap. Last year, playing for the Falcons, Simmons still showed he's got it. He had clutch interceptions, consistency in coverage, and most importantly, that silent but firm leadership role in the locker room. That's what the Lions need right now. Hutchinson holds down the line. But who's holding down the back end? We have good players today, but none with that kind of pedigree. And you know the detail that gets me most excited? Simmons has already said he wants to choose the best situation for his career, that he intends to sign before training camp to get in sync. In other words, he's not messing around. He's ready to integrate and lead. And if he comes here, he'll find a team that lives and breathes the exact culture he carries: intensity, grit, and a collective spirit. To be honest with you, if the front office doesn't make a move now, they might miss a rare opportunity. And then there's no point crying if the defense starts to get wobbly in crucial moments. I'll say it without fear. Simmons on the Lions could be the difference maker to keep the fire lit, even with so many internal changes. So do you agree that this signing would be the cherry on top, or do you think it's better to save the money and bet on the guys we already have? Comment below because this debate is on fire. And don't go anywhere, because the next piece of news is pure drama. It involves a promising rookie who might already be out for the season. Oh man, now here comes the kind of news that's a real buzzkill for fans. Rookie Isaac Tesla, who we were hoping would be a new weapon for Goff, is already a concern even before the official season opener. The kid was a third-round pick, came in with a lot of hype after some good plays at Arkansas, and showed his stuff in preseason practices and games. So just when we were dreaming of him getting into the offense, the bomb drops. He didn't show up for the first official practice of the season. No explanation, no details, just an absence. And that's already raising red flags. Think about it. The front office just got rid of veteran Tim Patrick. That was a move that suggested total confidence in Tesla. Like, okay, the kid can handle it, we can make some space. But now, without him on the field, it feels like they took too big of a risk. Any fan who follows the team knows, when the team makes a bold decision and something like this happens, the chatter starts right away. Lions Nation is already on edge. And it's not paranoia. Pride of Detroit even reported that it might not be anything serious, but at the same time, no one on the team has come clean. They said we'll only get clarity in the next injury report. So until then, it's all speculation and worry. And as a true fan, I confess, I'm already imagining the worst. Because when you're expecting the most from a rookie, you always get that fear of an injury at the wrong time. To make the drama worse, we can see he was really earning his spot. Good catches, great attitude, he seemed ready to enter the rotation. So to be without him right now, before the kickoff, is frustrating. The offense needs variety, it needs surprises, and Goff was starting to build chemistry with him. Not to mention that this division is unforgiving. Every detail makes a difference, and losing an option right at the start is giving our rivals an advantage. Of course, there's also a little bit of relief. Miles Frazier, another rookie, is already coming back. The guy had knee surgery, was on the PUP list, but showed on Instagram that he's getting back into rhythm. But let's be honest, the offensive line is still solid with veterans, but losing a receiver who was already a lock for a big role, that's a problem of a different magnitude. And it's in times like these that we remember. Being a Lions fan is living this up and down roller coaster of emotions. Our hearts beat fast with expectation, and then we get hit with a splash of cold water. But who knows, maybe the news on Wednesday will be good, and Tesla will be back soon. I'm really hoping it's just a scare. Now I want to know, do you think it's just a precaution, or do you feel like there's something more serious being hidden? Comment below, because this is the only place where we can have this kind of unfiltered, real fan talk. After all this news, you can really feel how this team affects us. On one hand, the coaching staff is exuding confidence. On the other, Goff is embracing the underdog role, while the front office is evaluating a veteran who could change the defense, and the uncertainty of a rookie is already shaking up the offense. It's an endless stream of emotions. I'll say it without fear. The Lions are living through perhaps the most challenging and promising moment in decades. So comment below, because this is the home of True Lions Nation, and I'm already looking forward to our next chat.